How you doing, everyone? Scott finally back with an update. I was kind of forced to take a break from the VC. Well, not forced, but I've had some receiver amp troubles, so I kind of took that as an opportunity to kind of step back from YouTube for a little bit. I think it's been about 4 weeks or 5 weeks since I've made a video, but it was kind of well needed. I think after Christmas and New Year, there was a lot of videos going out, there was a lot of content from everyone, and I think it was quite a lot, and it started to die down, and I thought it'd be kind of be like a natural thing to just take a wee step back. So that's maybe why I've not been commenting on your videos, or, I mean, I have watched some in between, but I've really not been on top of the videos that I've been getting put out. So what happened was my receiver basically gave up the ghost. It'd been playing up for a couple of months, it kind of switching itself off, and the volume was doing all sorts, and it was cracking through the speakers, and you know, after a couple of thumps on the top, it would kind of right itself for maybe a month, and then it would kind of start to play up again. So one night I was playing my music, and it was acting up, and I was thumping it and thumping it, it was still acting up, so I basically gave it its one last thump, and it just never came back on. I tried to thump it some more, but to no avail. So it basically just died. So what I did was, I kind of had a bit of a panic attack, because it's the first time I've really been without all my goodies for a long time. So I jumped onto eBay and I ordered a new pre-owned receiver. A big Kenwood. It was a beast of a thing. So that turned up, got it plugged in, got it all set up. Everyone was fine. First 15 minutes played awesome, and then it just cut off. I actually think now it was faulty, and the amp kind of shut itself down. So I was kind of back to square one. Got my refund off the seller. She didn't want it back because it probably didn't work. So what I did was, I really liked the one that I had, and I thought, I'm just going to get it fixed. But I did a bit more research, and I found one of like the same kind on eBay, and it was probably going to cost the same amount to fix the one I had than to just buy one that's in really good nick. So to save myself a bit of time and trouble, I just bought a new one, and it's now up and running. Everything is fine, the world is good again, and I'm happy. So I finally got to sit back down and listen to my music again. So I'm back with an update. So that's what's been going on. But it was a good time to just kind of step away and, you know, kind of just get on with other parts of life without having to worry about what records and what CDs I'll be showing. So not that I really do worry about it. Anyway, an update for you, some CDs and some vinyl, as usual. I was going to do a big CD haul thing, because I've got a lot of CDs over the last couple of months, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pepper them in with the vinyl as I usually do, just so it kind of varies it up for you. So I'll start with the CDs. First one is from 1991, and it is from the band Reverend and Play God. So this is their follow-up, and I think they only did 2 albums. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is their last album, on Charisma Records. David Wayne from Metal Church, and it really just does carry on from their first album. After I picked up their first album on vinyl, I really tried my hardest to find this, but you're not going to find this that easy and for a good price. So picked up the CD, and I wasn't disappointed. It is just as good as the first one, and it really does have that Metal Church sound. So if you're into Metal Church from the 80s, yeah, you can't go wrong with this. It's a good 9 out of 10. The songs are awesome. David Wayne sounds just as good as he ever did. So that was well worth the pickup. So Reverend and Play God, absolutely awesome. Next one, this is a band that you know, I've heard being mentioned in the VC a million times, but I've never ever gone and checked any of their albums out. And I saw this kind of just cropped up on eBay, and I thought, do you know what? It's that cheap. I'll just buy it, and if I don't like it, it doesn't matter because it was like a few quid. Got it in, and I thought it was awesome. And it's from 1993, Cathedral and the Ethereal Mirror. So this is the first time I've ever heard Cathedral. Features Lee Dorian from Napalm Death. So I was a bit kind of, you know, I was kind of on the fence. I'm not really a massive fan of Napalm Death, but this is awesome. So it does have that kind of that doom element. It does have those doomy sequences, but it's got great groove through it as well. Kind of hard rock as well. It's just it's a good mix, a good varied album that that kind of grips you from start to finish, really. So yeah, I was really happy I picked this up. So where do I go from here, Cathedral fans? I know their first album, Forest of something, I can't remember what it's called. Doesn't matter. I know that's more doomy. Do I go that way? Do I carry on from this? Do I work my way up? So you can kind of give me some pointers of where I go from here, but I really enjoyed this Cathedral, the Ethereal Mirror from 1993. And probably the biggest surprise in this update is going to be this CD coming up, and it's black metal. So if you've been following my channel over the last year and a half, you know that like I really started off with like hard rock and kind of traditional metal, and I kind of moved into thrash. Now I'm kind of moving into death metal, and I'm now trying some black metal. So this is the first black metal CD I've ever picked up, and it is awesome. It is Immortal and Sons of Northern Darkness. So yeah, I think it was Mike Metal Mickey who put me onto this album, but it's superb, from 2002. As soon as I heard the first song, One by One, I was like, yeah, this is for me. Now, I might be kind of jumping the gun here, but I would kind of, although I'm not in any way, shape or form an expert on black metal, I would probably go by saying this is kind of like diet black metal. It's more kind of thrashy than anything. It's not really abrasive. It does have that kind of distorted, muffled kind of production, but the vocals aren't really as abrasive as other black metal that I've heard. It's not really screechy. It's more of a kind of growl. So maybe that's why I kind of latched onto it. But it's really good. So if you're in the kind of same boat as me and you're looking at black metal, this would be a great album to start with, because it's not claustrophobic. It's not in your face. It's just right. So Immortal and Sons of Northern Darkness. And again, for black metal fans that have heard this album, where does this kind of rank in your mind? And where would I go from here? So I would love to know. So that's the CDs. Moving on to vinyl. The first one I'm going to start with is, I actually was going to show this in my last update, but Cloudy Milder showed it in his the same day. So I thought, do you know what? I'll keep it back for a couple of weeks, and just so we're not showing it on the same day. Not that it really matters, but here we go. It's the EP from Lizzie Borden and Terror Rising. So I'm now like this close to completing my Lizzie Borden vinyl collection from the 80s. I only need the EP, Give 'Em the Axe, and that'll be me completed the albums and the EPs. So really happy to pick that up in really nice condition. And the first time I listened to this album, or this EP when I got it in, the song, the second song, White Rabbit, came on. And do you know that way I was sitting and I thought, I've heard this song before. And it kind of got into the chorus, it kind of built up, and I thought, all right, okay, it's the cover of, I think it's Jefferson Airplane. And it's just such a good song. Sanctuary have done it on their debut, and they do a really good version of it. Lizzie Borden do a really good version of it. And but it's weird, when I go back to the actual original version, I love that version. And I know it's like the furthest away from what I really listen to, but I think it's really atmospheric. It tells like a really weird story. So I'll always go back to the original for that. But like I said, Lizzie Borden and Sanctuary do amazing jobs on that cover, and it's just a great song. And it's kind of, I think it's a song that kind of resonates with people from whatever genre they listen to. It's just a really well written song. You can kind of appreciate it for what it is. But anyway, yeah, 7-track EP, and just slightly closer to completing my Lizzie Borden collection. So hopefully soon, given the acts will show up. Next up is from Wishlord, and it's Burn to My Touch. Wishlord I never see, whether it's in the wild or on eBay or anything. It's just a band that just never really comes up. So I've kind of had it in my my saved list on eBay, and it finally popped up, and I jumped on this. I watched it. Nobody really showed any interest in it. I put a minimum bid in and I won it. So I think I got it for about $9.99, or somewhere around a tenner. So I was really happy with that, because like I said, these albums you don't really see come up. Now, it's not an album that's going to blow you away. I think the production's a little thin, but it's that kind of US power metal vibe to it. It's kind of speed metal, and there's not really any songs that you think, that's an amazing song. It's just it's well put together, and it's that a good album to have in the collection. So there we go. Wishlord from 1987, Burn to My Touch. Worth the pickup. Next up is one I got in recently. Fans of Hellripper, check out Midnight. This is Rebirth by Blasphemy. If you're into the likes of Hellripper, if you like Venom, that kind of new album, speed metal style, check out Midnight. This was going really cheap on Amazon, so I think this was sitting at around 22 quid for a good few months. I think it came out last year, so it was sitting for about 22 quid, and then finally dropped to about £14, and I was all over it. So like I said, that kind of that kind of Venom, that kind of muffled, distorted speed, just spitting out the lyrics. And it comes Metal Blade, and on this kind of smoky black and silver vinyl. But well worth the pickup. All these kind of elements really add up to a really solid album. It does have kind of even 80s hard rock influences in there, like Motorhead. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in there that I can't remember, but it's a really, really great album. Not too long, it's in and out, does the job, and gets out again, so awesome. Check out You Can Drag Me Through Fire. That's probably the most 80s tune on the album. Raw Attack, Warning from the Reaper, Fucking Speed and Darkness, even the title track. I think he has a one-man project as well, along the same lines as Hellripper. I don't really know much else to tell you than that, but I think think Hellripper has toured with Midnight, and they've maybe done a split. So yeah, check it out if you're interested in that. Mouth is dry. I'm not used to doing these videos. Next up is from Grand Magus and Triumph and Power. This is from 2014. Now, the first Grand Magus I picked up was Sword Songs. I picked it up on CD about 3 years ago, and it's, you know, it's one of those things that you buy an album, you love the album, and then you find out the band's got maybe 5 or 6 more other albums, and then you just ignore them and you don't do anything about it. So I kind of had it in my mind. I was going through Amazon and I thought, right, okay, I'm going to go, I'll look up Grand Magus, I'll see what they have, and this was sitting there for, I think, about £11, and I thought, right, I'm buying it, I'll get it. Then after that, I put all the other albums in the watch list, but this is awesome. So Grand Magus are kind of hard rock, doom, epic kind of metal. A really good mix of styles in here. A lot of, especially on this album, a lot of Maiden influences. Especially on the, I can't remember the Maiden song, and I remember listening to this song. The third song, Fight, has got a Maiden melody in it, and I just cannot think of the song. It's not a big hit. But that's definitely got Maiden influences in it. And there's another song as well that sounds just like The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. So there are definite influences there, but in their own right, it's awesome. I mean, it's not a Bruce Dickinson clone. The guy's got a kind of deep, heavy, kind of gruff voice, but a great voice at the same time. So definitely worth checking out if you've never heard Grand Magus. Get on it, because this is awesome. I think this is better than Sword Songs. And last but not least, mouth is so dry. This came down on Amazon as well, and it is Coroner and Grin. Now, I do own, this is obviously the reissues, I do own the debut and Punishment for Decadence. I do have the others on my watch list, but this has always been the most expensive out of the 5. And it's been, I mean, this has been on my watch list for probably, say, about a year. And it's never budged from about 22, 23 quid. And it dropped to about 17 for the first time, or the first time I noticed it drop. So I jumped on it straight away. I'll show you inside. There's a gatefold. And comes in this translucent green vinyl. It's a bit darker in person. It's a bit kind of aqua on camera, but it's definitely green here. Green for Grin. Really different from, I've not heard Mental Vortex or No More Colour. In fact, I have heard a bit of No More Colour. But I like to listen to part of an album. I don't like to go through the whole thing on YouTube, and then it's kind of, I like my first listen to really be on the turntable or in the CD player, and you can kind of take it in a lot better. But this was really different from what I was expecting. Now, I've heard people talk about this album before. It's definitely more progressive. You know, some of these songs go on 8 minutes, 7.5 minutes. And, you know, you get to the point where you're like, right, okay, you're now just repeating yourself. But at the same time, they're really great songs. I think is it The Lethargic Age that really stuck out. Internal Conflicts is a great song as well. And but it kind of lost me a little bit in the middle. It just it started to kind of meander, and it kind of just got a bit kind of, you know, you kind of drift off and you think about something else. So I wouldn't say it's as good as maybe the first two, but I've only listened to it twice, so I need to spend a lot more time with it. But it was good, but I definitely need to spend a bit more time kind of taking the whole album in. But definitely some highlights in this album. So there we go, Coroner and Grin. I think this was originally released in 1993. But yeah, really nice package. So there we go. So that is it. 20 minutes. Let me know what you think. I'll be back soon. I'm not gonna, no more breaks. I'll be back probably in the next few days or week or so with another video. In the meantime, you can let me know what you think of my pickups, especially with Immortal and Cathedral. Tell me where to go with them, with the black metal and how to move on from the Ethereal Mirror. You can kind of let me know your thoughts. But thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for staying with me through the dry month, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Cheers.